Hi, my name is Terence. I'm a software engineer.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm in public service. This is a 4-room condo along Farrer Road, and this is a 7-year-old development. So when we came in, we are the second owners. It was quite lived-in, so there was a fair amount of work to be done and to make sure that it feels like ours.
It's about 160 square feet, 4 bedrooms. It has high ceilings. So because of that, the developer had built a loft, which we thought was interesting because it increased the amount of space that we had. And it was an opportunity to kind of create something from not really a blank canvas, but at least a starting point. The entire project probably took about 2.5 months from starting work all the way until we were able to move in. And I think the total cost is probably about $120,000. So when we first started this entire journey, we met with a lot of IDs that we found online. And then we found that a lot of our friends were referring a few IDs as well. And just nice, one of our friends referred Max and Joey, and then we reached out and we met them at their studio.
We spoke to 3 IDs. I have to say, actually, the decision making was quite straightforward.
We spoke to 3, but actually we reached out to quite a number.
Yes.
And some of them were more forthcoming with the quote, some of them were asked questions, some of them not so much.
I think once we met Max and Joey, it was quite clear that the feeling was right.
Yeah, it was really a bit of a connection, because also we met with a few others before, and we had already shortlisted somebody, and we were quite comfortable because this was a recommendation from my cousin, in fact. So we were pressed for time, and we kind of said like, okay, let's go and meet Max and Joey, we'll see what they have to say. Not really thinking that we would, make a change in our decision, but after that time with them, it just felt right. And I think they really gave us the confidence that they knew what we were looking for, but they were also able to value add in their recommendations. And frankly, the price was great. So it was an easy decision after that. When you enter the house, you kind of walk through a foyer, and there's a seating preparation area that transitions into our living room. And on the right, there's a kitchen. And then as you walk in closer to our dining area, on the right, there's a coffee bar where we have our coffee machines and water dispenser. Then as you move further along, you'll see our bedrooms. We have our study room as well as our son's bedroom. And then all the way at the end is our master bedroom. When we first walked in and we saw the works that were done, it was a sense of calm, but it was also a sense of confidence that it was what we had in mind. And it was a little bit interesting to discover things along the way that were like, oh wow, we didn't expect this to turn out this way, and it turned out much better than we expected. And I think for us, a big part of it is just this feeling of home, right? That this is where we were trying to get to, and finally we're here. And I think that was very satisfying through this process. The stretch lights were one of those things that we didn't plan for. And they kind of said like, we have something in mind, we have an idea that we think you might like, but it's a bit of a risk. Are you willing to try it? And we said, sure. I mean, at that point, to be fair, they had already given us a ton of confidence that, they wouldn't bring some weird pink elephant surprise. And we said, let's try. And it turned out really, really well. And I think, in fact, that's one of the pieces that when people come in the question is that a skylight? And we're like, yeah, you would think, right? But actually it's lights, and it really changes the feel of the house. I think that's been really great. I think the favorite spot is our coffee bar. It fits in with our lifestyle. We try to get ready for the day, and we start our day with a little bit of calm. So having a dedicated space that we can prepare our morning beverage and just look at it and feel good actually starts our day very positively. So that's probably my favorite spot that I use every day.
For me, actually, it's my vanity table. So Max and Joey help kind of like put a custom design together to fit the room layout. So it's a very nice space to just get ready for the day. And the colors and the design all came together very nicely. So I really like it.
For me, a home is really your safe space. We picked this area also because it's a quieter area. We used to live in the city fringe, and it was very bustling. There was a lot of activities, especially early on when there was just the 2 of us. Now with a child and with more stressful jobs, I think home is really a place where you can feel comfortable, you can be yourself, you can sit anywhere and feel good without even thinking about the rest of your day, right? And no matter what happens outside, no matter how stressful or challenging, you can come home knowing that this is your space and you can recharge and get ready for the next day, for the next challenge. I think just having that really good feeling, always come to a place that you can call home.
I think home is really about a space that you feel comfortable, right? And I think everybody feels comfortable with different things. And I think for us, with the help of Max and Joey, we try to make the spaces work to our routine rather than design with the aesthetics in place first, right? And I think that has really helped to make the end result something that I feel really suits us and make us feel very comfortable and a true home for us.